Architects dropped their new album, The Sky, the Earth, and All Between. Oh my god.
Holy fuck. This shit kind of knocked me on my ass a little bit. Going in, I mean, I had high expectations. Every Architects record that's come out has always been memorable, has always been really fucking good. Um, Starting with my original introduction to them, which was 2 albums ago,
Mm-hmm.
back in 2020?
2021.
2021. It
Yeah.
was in the early stages where I was still collecting vinyl. That's how I remember that.
Yeah.
Um, I remember that shit. It threw me for a loop. I didn't understand it, and I loved it. And it was so fucking good. It was one of the first metal records that really had me like, holy shit, because it's technical. It's just fun to listen to. It's very versatile. It's fucking awesome. And I do believe the same goes for this record as well. It's still very technical. It still has all of the Architects things that you love. But it feels a lot more polished and feels a lot more matured. And it's just fucking awesome, man. It's confidence in an album. I fucking love it. Sounds incredible. I love all the tracks so much. I think it's a great record. I love Architects. Shout out Architects.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I feel like they kind of had a point to prove after the last record, which left something to be desired pretty much across the board.
It wasn't that bad.
It wasn't bad, but in the grand scheme of things, looking at Architects, looking at their discography, it's definitely on the weaker end. There are a few songs on that album that I do adore that I still come back to, but overall, if I'm going to go for a modern Architects record, I'm going for the one that you mentioned, which is For Those That Wish to Exist. That's the first album that I got into with them. Or, you know, I'll go for Holy Hell, but that's 2018. That's a little bit deeper in the discography in terms of years, even though they're next to each other in terms of number of studio LP. But this album I had high hopes for from the first single, Seeing Red. I heard that shit. I was like, let's go. It's go time. We are so back. This song fucking rocks. They kept that going with Curse, and then all of the singles after that. I was so excited for this album. There were 2 singles going like the week of the record, and I was so excited for this record that I listened to both of them. And I was like, I physically couldn't help myself. Even like there was a single Monday and then a single Wednesday, and like, yeah, the album comes out Friday, but this is one of my most anticipated releases of the entire year, so I need to know what it sounds like. The opening track sets the tone. I think it's a phenomenal fucking opener. The closer, Chandelier, is a very nice closer. It's the most atmospheric, weird, slow track on the album, and it's the only track like that. The only other track that's on the slower side is Everything Ends, but that's honestly one of my favorites. I think Architects really crushes the like middle of the road kind of song on a metalcore record, where it's not super heavy. It more leans on the emotion and the lyrics to be heavy versus the actual instrumentals. I think they crush that type of song just across the board, and this is no exception. But my favorites are Landmines and Judgment Day. Those 2 back to back are phenomenal. So bouncy. I love Landmines because of the super bouncy riff. It really gets me going. And Judgment Day, I saw that Amira Elsky feature when the album was announced, and I was like, she's super dope. I think she's a fantastic artist, but I'm like, how is she going to fit on an Architects record? Because her music is it will get heavy instrumentally, but her vocals kind of stay in that atmospheric, like haunting type of lane. And I was like, I wonder how they're going to utilize that. And I think they did it perfectly. This song gives you a bit of a different feeling than the rest, because a lot of these songs are just straight up ass beaters. That's what this record is pretty much across the board. But there's a couple of songs here and there that evoke different types of emotions, and this is one of them. I think her vocals are such a phenomenal addition to this song, and it really this song wouldn't have been nailed without her or someone like her type of vocal on here. And I think she's an incredible addition for sure. But I'm glad that I came away enjoying like with favorites that weren't the singles, because I've spent so much time with these, and a lot of the singles were some of the best songs on the record. But I do think that Landmines and Judgment Day are the don't sleep on those. They're fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
Evil Eyes as well. Brain Dead with House of Protection is nuts. It's crazy to see how big that. It's crazy to see how big that band is getting so quickly. Curse, Seeing Red. I could name the entire record. I have been jamming this a shitload. The only thing that made me stop was the Spirit Box album, gonna be honest with you. And I'm really excited about this. They just announced a massive UK and EU tour, arenas at the later this year, with support from Wage War, which is fucking phenomenal. So I'm jealous as shit. And I'm hoping for a US tour sometime soon. It's been too long. Come back.
Come home.
Yeah.
It's okay.
It's not home, but come here.
It's our home.
Yeah. Come to my
country.
house.
Please. Yeah. No, it's a fucking crazy ass record. I'm happy you mentioned Landmines, because that was one of my favorites. And then Curse is still, it was a single, but goddamn, every time it comes on when I was listening to the record, and then I did revisit it a couple times when it was a single. I think it just came up in like radio, or maybe I put it in a playlist somewhere, but every time it would come on I'd be like, fuck yeah, I fucking love this track. So those are my two favorites.
Oh yeah.